Hey guys, and welcome to VR Flight World. In this episode, we're going to be talking about Microsoft Flight Sim 2020, and we're going to be talking about multiplayer. So Microsoft just recently released their multiplayer series, and where they explain what they're going to be doing for multiplayer. And it's really interesting what they're going to be doing. So they're going to be setting it up as one big world. So essentially, they're going to have a mode where it's going to be as realistic as possible. You're going to fly by regulations. You're going to fly with real world weather and real world time. So this might not always work for you, but this is going to be one of their settings that they're going to have. So it's going to be the most realistic possible, and it's going to allow you to kind of immerse yourself in what a real world flight would be like at this time. So you're going to have real world planes pumped into the sim, and they're going to do this through their server, as well as all the multiplayer planes will be integrated into your sim as well. And the sim's going to make adjustments so you don't have a massive amount of planes flying around you all at once. If you have, say you have 1,000, 2,000 flight simmers in that one location at that time, you don't want 2,000 planes flying around one airport. So what they're going to do is they're going to make adjustments. You won't see every plane from multiplayer, but you will see, from what I can understand, you will see all the real world traffic, and that's going to be kind of neat to integrate flight sim with real world traffic. So what they've said is, even if you have your graphics settings lower, you may not see the plane from a long distance away, whereas if you had your graphics setting higher, you'd see that plane from a long distance away. But once it gets close enough, you'll see all the real world planes flying in your area. You'll still see it on your radar. You're still going to know that plane still exists out in the distance. Just once it gets close enough to your view that your graphics settings allow it, you'll actually see the plane. So all this is going to happen without you doing a lot. Essentially, there's no sessions to create. There's no games to join. When you click on this and you jump into a flight, if you have the settings where it's real world flight settings, you're going to have all this happen for you. So it's going to be it's all going to be integrated in there. You're not going to have to start up a game and invite people to this game, but you will have an option to do something similar to that. But in general, multiplayer is just going to kind of be integrated into your flight sim. So there's really three ways they're dealing with this. There's live players only, which is strict rules, real world weather, real world time, and real world traffic, and all that stuff is going to be as realistic as possible. They have the all players, which is going to be fly however you want. So essentially you can fly in any rules, any weather, any aircraft. There's going to be, you can set the time to whatever time you want. It's going to be like the free flight, and that'll be good for when you just want to take a quick flight. Maybe it's the middle of the night where you live and you want to fly around your house. You can do that still. And then there's the other setting where you're going to be allowed to create a group, and this allows the creator. You can create the weather you want, the person that starts this group. They can pick the time they want, and then other people can join your group, and they'll have to fly with the rules that you set as the group owner, I guess. So one problem we've ran into in the past with flying multiplayer is that some of the planes will just disappear, some planes will just appear. And this has been kind of a problem with most multiplayer games, because what happens when someone leaves the game? That plane could just disappear. Well, Microsoft has come up with their own set of solutions for this. And what they're going to be doing is if someone leaves a game, or say a real world flight, we lose the tracking for that real world flight, it's going to continue to fly even though they don't have the information. What's going to happen is the AI is going to take over, and it's going to continue flying that plane. So as the person flying in the sim, you're not going to notice whether that person's actually flying, or whether it's a player flying, or whether it's AI flying it. It's going to all smoothly integrate. If that, say you get that data back from your real world flight, then the real world flight will take over again. And there's going to be no jerky multiplayer glitches or anything like that. That's what they're saying. So it should be a pretty amazing experience if that's true. So to kind of finish this up, I got to say my favorite part of this is the realistic. Everything's restricted. I love to fly in real world weather. I love the fact that they're forcing the real world time, and that way everyone can fly in the same rules. That's a neat kind of idea for me. I love that idea, and I love the way they're integrating this. So I'm really excited to see what happens here. And yeah, stay tuned, guys, and we'll see you in the next video.